A Nelson woman says one of 2 men killed in yesterday's triple fatal car crash never recovered from a fatal crash he caused almost 18 years ago. Philip Jamie Stretch and Jonathan Tairakena were in a car fleeing from police when it crashed into another car, killing Carmen Yanko early yesterday morning. Ms Yanko, aged 53, was on her way to her stall at the Nelson Sunday Market. Shirley Way says Philip Stretch's behaviour spiralled out of control after the crash that killed a young woman in 2001, for which he went to prison. When he died, he faced 4 outstanding court charges, including driving while disqualified and failing to stop 4 police. Philip Stretch was also charged with a breach of community work and failing to answer police bail. They were the 2 men, Tairakena and Stretch, in the car that was fleeing police. Here's Tracy Neal with the story.
All that remained today on the gentle incline of State Highway 6 is an oil slick and road signs warning of a potential hazard. It's where mother of 5, Carmen Yanko, was killed early yesterday, the innocent victim in a car crash caused when an oncoming car pulled out to pass a truck. The police said it was the last thing they ever wanted to see happen. Shirley Way, who knew Philip Stretch, says it's no excuse for what happened, but she doesn't think he ever fully dealt with the crash he caused in 2001.
His life was never ever the same after that, and because he was so young himself, it wasn't something I think that was managed or dealt with very well, because he didn't come home and stop drinking and stop doing drugs or anything like that. In fact, if anything, it escalated out of control.
Both Philip Stretch and Jonathan Tairakena were well known to the police. Stretch was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison at the age of 17 on a string of charges, including drink driving causing death. 19-year-old Jamie Kelly was killed after being flung from the car Stretch was driving when it crashed near Motueka 18 years ago. Ms Way says it was a very bad time for everyone.
Lots of blame, lots of guilt. She was quite a well-loved girl, of course, so I think, yeah, it wasn't easy for him. But it doesn't excuse what he's done now by any means at all. I think it's just appalling that he was even driving around at that hour of the night.
The accident happened just before 6 yesterday morning. Just prior to this, the police were conducting inquiries to find a wanted person and tried to stop the vehicle in Richmond. The driver fled south along State Highway 6 and overtook a truck on what is a blind brow of a hill. The Assistant Commissioner for Road Policing, Sandra Venables, told Morning Report she could not say if they were wanted for a minor or serious offence.
No, I can't comment. It's all part of the investigations that we're undertaking currently.
She said there could be a number of reasons why police pursue vehicles. In 2009, there was a recommendation that the police change their policy after an investigation. Ms Venables says another review was carried out last year.
So the purpose of the review is to better understand the pursuit environment and identify any current issues with police management of these events, and we're undertaking that with the IPCA.
But it no doubt means little to the family and friends of Carmen Yanko, whose wide circle of friends are expressing sorrow and outrage on social media. Ms Yanko, a former Waimea College student who was self-employed, was described on Facebook as a beautiful woman, a cancer survivor, and someone who will be missed terribly. This afternoon, Ms Yanko's friend of almost 40 years, Barbara Christian, read a statement to Checkpoint on behalf of the family.
We as Carmen's children are heartbroken and reeling from the senseless tragedy that happened early yesterday morning. She lived to be a mother, and she was there for us always. Carmen lived and loved fiercely and will be terribly missed by her family and friends.
The Mayor of Tasman District, Richard Kempthorne, says the accident is an utter tragedy for all involved, but he says there's nothing that concerns him about the section of road where it happened.
There's nothing that worries me about that bit of road. The thing that worries me is some of the driving practices that occur on our roads. So every now and then, extreme risks seem to be taken by people. On that bit of road, nobody would think of overtaking.
Shirley Way says the way police chase suspected offenders has to change.
As it was a lady on her way to work that had done nothing wrong. Last thing that would have been on her mind.
The Assistant Commissioner for Road Policing, Sandra Venables, says the results of the review into police procedures around pursuits are due out later this year. In Nelson for Checkpoint, Tracy Neal.